This is Kenny Clark, and this is Lombardi's Bar.
This is one of my favorite podcasts to do.
I'm just, blessed and thankful to be a part of this podcast. It's a great podcast. It's a great interview.
Maybe I know that you guys obviously being the best Packers podcast that's out there.
I had Malort this weekend, so I'm not tasting anything.
Oh, good.
He did.
God.
He did. That was fantastic.
Because they said, "Did you ever try Malort?" And I said, "No." And then they said, "Do you want to take a shot of Malort?" I said, "No," but I did.
Wait, who said
It's called peer pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried getting a high honors English class once, and they called my parents and were like, "Hey, just tell him he can't do it."
It shows. It really shows.
I hate you guys so much.
I'm going to throw these two guys into the screen so that if I die, they can carry on the legacy of crap that is this show. And welcome in, Green Bay Packer fans, to another edition of Lombardi's Bar. I'm your bartender, Dan Connick. Thank you so much for joining us again today. If you haven't done so already, take a second right now. Hop over to the YouTube channel, hit subscribe, hit like, share the video, tell everybody in the world you know that you're watching Lombardi's Bar. Get notified every time that we go live here on the Game On Wisconsin YouTube channel. Make sure you follow the show over on Twitter as well, at Game On WI and at Lombardi's Bar. That's right. Damn right, buddy. Just a few weeks, not even a few weeks, like less than a few weeks. We are less than 2 weeks, so it's less than a few weeks until, no, hold on. I take that back. Scratch that, flip it, and reverse it. We're a few weeks away from the home opener. The season starts in like 8 days, 9 days. Real actual football gets off. We are waiting on Kenny Clark to jump in here and join us. Until then, we'll bring in the next best thing. It's Jimmy Christensen and Todd Varney. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
That might have been one of your worst introductions.
It was
to the
bad,
show that we've
guys.
had.
It was bad. It wasn't great.
It wasn't great. Thank God Kenny's not here yet, because he would have left.
To be fair, if Kenny was here, I wouldn't have had to stall like that.
It's on him. I will let you tell him that when he joins.
I'm not going to tell him that.
We are still hiring bartenders. You can email your resume to us. And just send them any email address you find anywhere.
Of which, still in the chat here, making sure she's laughing at at the way I do my job, and yet completely bailed on us, Jasmine. Anyway,
that's on Jimmy.
That's why I just didn't say anything, because I knew somehow was going to be brought back.
Well, I was waiting for somebody to pick it up and run.
I've learned and I've grown. It'll never happen again. Is that better?
Sure. Yeah.
Emma, send pics or it's not true. Send pics and you're officially the new bartender. Let's skip anything I was about to jump into here, because the man that you are all here to listen to, it's not us three, it's this guy here, Kenny Clark from the Green Bay Packers. Kenny, good sir, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining the show.
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. How's it going?
I'm good, man. I'm just getting me something good to eat real quick.
Where at? What's the location tonight?
I'm at this
You might not want to tell.
I'm eating some Mexican food right now.
Smart. Don't say the restaurant, because people might show
don't say
up.
where. Yeah.
It's Chipotle in Green Bay.
Yeah, exactly. How you guys doing?
We're good, man. Good.
Man.
I gotta say, man, before we jump into any of this, I think this is the most excited I've been for a Green Bay Packers season in a long time, and this offseason, man, has gotten me hyped. How are you feeling now that the offseason is officially over?
Man, same. This is the most excited I've been in a minute. About our team. It's a lot, just throughout the off season, it's been a lot of unknown. You know what I'm saying, as far as the outside world, and I'm excited to come out and just show what we've been working on, as a team. it's definitely an exciting year, and it's a lot of new faces, it's a lot of new parts that we put in to this team, and it's gonna be good. I love it.
Awesome. So speaking of the off season, we always hear about, what you're doing for other people, through your charity, your family, things like that. What's something that you did this off season for you?
Man, as far as you talking football wise,
Anything. What's something that Kenny did for Kenny?
Did you take a spa day? Did you get a mani-pedi?
I went to I went to Brazil. I went to Brazil this off season. I went to Brazil.
Nice.
I went to Argentina. So that was a good deal. I went out there. Enjoyed it out there. Got away for a little bit. So yeah, I had a good time out there.
Did you spar with Alex Pereira while you were in Brazil?
Man, I wish. I wish I could have went over there and seen him go out there and spar a little bit.
He's a monster.
Try to get a couple takedowns on him.
Oh, honestly, you'd be in concussion protocol still, I think. And I mean that in the nicest way.
Yeah. Hey, man. Yeah, he a beast.
Yeah. All right. So this offseason, like a big event. Obviously, we're really happy about your dad. Like, you able to reconnect with him. He's out now. Like, how was it introducing your daughter to him and like having her meet him for the first time? Was that something that was able to happen?
Man, it's just all been a blessing, man. For me to have my dad home, it's just honestly I can't really even put it into words. You know what I'm saying? It's watching him walk out of those gates, and it's been 18 long years that I haven't had my dad at home. So me introducing my daughter to him and all that stuff is just, everything was just new, and it's just a blessing, man. Just something that I always remember, that I always cherish. That I won't take the time that we got and all that stuff for granted. I'll never take that for granted. And I'm happy he's home now, and we get to start all over, really. So
yeah. Is there like a little extra? Like, obviously you're an incredible professional, but just that personal motivation of having like your dad being able to watch your games every week. Is there like an extra motivation now with that, like knowing he's going to be watching?
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be able to come to a couple games this year, so I'm really excited about that. But definitely, this is the first time that my dad would be able to like come see me in person for however many games he can, and I definitely got that in mind, and using that as extra motivation, coming into this season. It's like I said, everything's just been great, man. This whole off season, I've been locked in and been focused. My dad came home. My daughter's doing great. I got nothing to complain about. So, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think, like I said when you came on, being excited as a Packer fan for this season coming up. One of the things has to be this defense and the way we saw not just the defense, but the defensive line specifically, everyone eating up front. And there's so many young guys that have joined you on that front seven there. And Jimmy made the point, I'll give it to Jimmy, a couple weeks ago, that this feels like, with the talent we saw in the offseason, one of the deeper defensive lines, talent-wise, that you've kind of gotten to play with here in Green Bay. Would you agree with that? And who's somebody on that defensive line that you saw really stand out this offseason?
I would definitely say this is the most athletic. We definitely got the most athletic defensive line that we had in a long time. But I mean, we got a lot of good guys, in our room. I love what DY and TJ, how they came in this camp, and they've been steady improving, coming in every day with a purpose. Being intentional about their work every single day, and they know that we got to depend on them this year, and they've been taking it by the horns and really accepting the challenge, and that's been awesome to see. And then with the rooks, man, KB and Kobe, those guys, man, they super smart, man. Like they came in right away. Their ability and the stuff that they can do. That already jumped off on the film, but their ability to just process everything and being rookies and being able to see the same things that I see and talk formations, talk sets and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of next level stuff, and as long as they stay on top of that, be intentional about it every single day, they're gonna constantly improve and. By the end of the year, I think they're gonna really be rolling too. So, we definitely got a really athletic defensive line, and a lot of guys that can do a lot of different stuff. Whether it's rushing the passer and stopping the run. Big TJ in there, and me, myself. We got a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. And then our edge rushers, I mean, that's a whole nother room, but maybe they can, RG gonna always be RG, Preston always are Preston, so they dogs in their own right.
Bunch of freaks.
Yeah.
Well, man, Rashawn Gary coming back and being this close to playing after suffering the injury he did, when he did, that Rashawn Gary is an absolute freak, right? Like he is a freak athlete.
Man, I got nothing but love and respect for RG. Like the way he go about his business, man. Like I promise you, like just I'm already a worker. Like what I'm saying. That's what I pride myself on. I pride myself on how I work and how I come in the building and everything. But just watching him grow into what he is. And just how he goes about his business, like he motivates me, honestly. Like he ain't got to say nothing to me. I just watch how he work, and that motivates me alone. Like just watching him, and
that Mexican place, can't trust it.
The Chipotle Wi-Fi.
Chipotle.
The Wi-Fi.
I know Oneida Street.
We've all succumbed to the dangers of the open Wi-Fi networks at Chipotle.
All I know is if he was at Quick Trip, wouldn't happen. No.
Damn right. Quick Trip, hit us up.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, Melissa would let him use her hotspot, probably.
Oh, for
Shout out
sure.
Melissa. What up, girl?
Repping Quick Trip, Lombardi Avenue.
If we don't get sponsored for that, I'll be so upset.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We got Kenny back with us. Kenny, thanks for back in, bud.
My bad. Did I lose y'all? Y'all good?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh,
You're
good, man.
Yeah. So,
all good.
I mean, RG, man. Like I said, he motivated me by his work alone. His work alone just motivate me, man, and just talking to him and just being around him every single day. I just love the way he wired. He's wired a different way. It's all about work with him, and he's just driven. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys that want to be great, and I love that about him.
With all the alien talk lately, are you convinced that he's not an alien? Like, are you sure he's human? Just coming back from an injury that quick? Like, there's a chance. That's all I'm saying.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm like, man, like I didn't think it was a chance that he can come back this soon, but. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But he just the work is the work. It's all the work, man. Like,
yeah.
Like if you see his Instagram, you see if you just watch him at practice, like it's no secret. Like it's no secret of why he is who he is and why he's coming back from his injury and all that kind of stuff. Like it's all about the work. And he dedicated to football. He loved football, and I'm just happy. I'm super happy for him. Just him being in his situation and him getting a chance to just do something that he loved. You know what I'm saying? He loved ball, and you can tell it screams that on the tape. Like when he out there, playing, how much he loved ball. So, I know he's itching to get back out there, so I'm excited about it.
That's awesome. With such a young team this year, it feels like, I mean, watching this team in preseason, it didn't take long to start going, wait, who's this guy? Where'd he come from? I think they're the youngest team in the league. Getting a chance week 1 to kind of start a new chapter in the Packers-Bears rivalry. How excited are you for that? And how excited are you to sack Justin Fields week 1 and remind them who they are?
Yeah. Man, I'm excited, man. It's been a lot of, hype, with this game, and I mean, it's always going to be hyped up just based off of the rivalry that we got with them, and it's always a battle, and I'm excited about it. It's going to be a tough game, and I'm sure they fans and all that kind of stuff. They fans, and I know they excited about some stuff. They got some new weapons and all that kind of stuff, and we excited too. We excited about what we didn't build over here and our process and what we doing. So we all had to just see next Sunday what happens. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited about all this, man. It's a blessing, to be a part of it, and can't wait to get out there with the guys and really put it on tape.
Did Aaron Rodgers sell you his ownership of the Bears when he left, or is that still up for debate?
Hey man, we just trying to get a win.
Professional answer. I respect it.
We ain't worried about the ownership or none of that. All that stuff is done. We just trying to go out there and get a win and get this season rolling.
I was trying to catch you, Kenny, but you're too good for me. So in the off season, and I know these guys love when I do an unplanned question, I see a lot of stuff on your Instagram of you doing Pilates. When you retire, are you going to start your own Pilates gym? And if so, can I buy a membership now?
I mean, that's a good idea. I might have to, honestly. I didn't think of that, but I like Pilates, man. Pilates has been great for me. I had a lot of groin injuries a couple years ago, and I started doing it, and thankfully, I haven't had any of those, as of late. So, it's been working. It's been working for me. It's been helping me with my core, helping me with just being just structurally strong and my posture, with my leverage and all that kind of stuff. And it's just been good, man. It's been good. So I might have to, whenever I do retire or whatever, I might have to have a gym or something.
What are you going to look like, Derek Lewis? 265, well, more than that, and just a six-pack now? Is that the next thing?
I might be like 280. I'm gonna be around like 280.
With a six-pack though.
Yeah, six-pack though, for sure.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Little fat pack,
Let's call it the fanny pack. You have a built-in fanny.
Yeah.
All right, so now, like you've been listening at DN now instead of no stack with TJ Slayton kind of filled in there on the depth chart. Not filled in, like I know you'll move around. You've done your career with the Packers. Like, what does that change though with your role and approach to the game, being more at the defensive end side, going forward?
It's a lot. It's different out there. Just being the the big end. I've been watching a lot of film from Dean this past year and how he played the big end. And me and him think alike. Whether it's we watch the formations and how guys scheme us up how they scheme us up on defense and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of the blocks are somewhat the same. You know what I'm saying? It's somewhat the same, like the same technique. So it's all the same stuff. But I'll still be playing those. I'll be playing three. I'll be playing the big end. I'll be playing everywhere. So. I mean, honestly, it's all football. The technique don't really change. The only thing that really changes for me is the blocking schemes a little bit. But I didn't see every blocking scheme possible, so I'll be just fine out there. But I mean, I've been loving it though. I've been loving it being out there. It's like you got Big TJ in there. He holding stuff down in the middle, and then with my get off and my explosiveness, I'm able to just reset the line of scrimmage, knock things back, and play a gap and a half how I always do. So it's been awesome.
We saw against the Seahawks, your first snap, you pretty much swallowed up like 4 gaps. So yeah, I think you're pretty good.
Kenny, Jimmy kind of mentioned earlier about or I think it was Todd mentioned about the youth on the team, that now, the Packers have gone from one of the most old roster average wise to now one of the most young. And you being there for as long as you have now, you've established yourself as a veteran. Obviously, we mentioned a regime change in terms of quarterback moving forward into kind of a new era. How do you approach going into this locker room as now one of the most tenured Green Bay Packers on such a young team in this kind of new era of Green Bay Packer football? How do you approach that in the locker room?
Honestly, man, like I know, like honestly, like nothing has changed. Like the standard, the process, nothing has changed, man. I know we got a new quarterback and we got a lot of new faces, but it's all about. It's all about holding guys accountable. Establishing the standard, and we gotta just live up to it every day. Like it sounds like cliche, but it's really like that simple. Like we come in and like we practice hard. We tell them guys we run into the ball, we getting after the passer. We establish those standards as leaders, and the young guys they ain't got no choice but to follow it. And that's how you build. That's how you build a great team, and that's how you grow. You know what I'm saying? That's how you grow as a team, and anybody that's not living up to that standard, you let them know, and you move on with it. Like so that's honestly that's really how we've been approaching this process, approaching everything with these new faces. Like nothing has changed as far as in the locker room. Like myself, RG, Preston, Sewell, all the older guys. Like we establishing that standard, and if you're not holding up to that standard, then you don't need to be on this team, or you're gonna hear about it. So.
I like it. Carry the G, baby. That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, real.
Go ahead, Jimmy. I know you've got one.
Oh, thank you. I had to ask permission to ask an MMA question because Kenny, I know you're an MMA fan. I'm a big MMA fan. Sugar Sean knocking out Aljo. Did you see that coming, or was that a shock for you?
I'm not gonna lie. I thought Aljo was gonna take him down and get him.
I thought he'd choke him out in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I thought Aljo was gonna take him down and get him, but Sugar Sean, he's a different beast, man. Like honestly, I thought like after that Peter Yan fight, I kind of thought Sugar Sean lost that, and for him to come out and do what he did, that was big. He won me over. So
that was the most beautiful right hand I've seen in a
right
long time.
Perfect.
That slide back, it was Conor McGregor-esque, just that little slide.
Man. Yep, that was perfect punch, like perfect timing. I watched they did like a some type of like preview of it and show like the process of it and how he was practicing and everything. It's crazy, just to watch him, spar and him go through that process, knowing when Aljo's hands is going to drop or knowing how he shoots, and then him having that time and being able to take that shot. Like, it's just that's what I love about all these different types of sports, man. Like, we all got tendencies, we all human, you know what I'm saying? And we all got different tendencies, and the more you watch film and the more you see things out there, you can exploit that, and that's what he did. He executed his game plan perfectly.
So who is your favorite UFC fighter? Who's your guy?
Man, who's my favorite? Damn, that's a good question.
Oh, thank
Nah,
you.
I like a lot of. I'm just a fan, man. I just love the. I honestly, man, I just love it. But if I had to choose like a guy, I'd probably say Brandon Marino
Oh, yeah.
or Charles Oliveira. I'd
Yeah,
probably
good
say
answer.
Brandon
I love
Marino
those
or
guys
Charles
too.
Oliveira. Like
Okay,
Charles
yeah.
Oliveira, because I feel like with Charles Oliveira, I watched him lose, like, and I watched him like climb up to the top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when he won his championship, like I was so excited for him, you know, to see him win.
Did you watch
and
him when
then-
he came to Milwaukee? He fought
no,
like
I
Jim
didn't see
Miller.
him.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see him in Milwaukee. And then Brandon Marino, same thing. Like I just watched him, you know, grow into, you know, being a champion and all that kind of stuff. So it was cool to see. You know what I'm saying? To see those guys work and them grow into that.
All right, Dan Todd promised last one. Do you think Charles Oliveira gets Islam their rematch? Because I think Volk can beat both of them. I'm a big Volk fan. I will hype him up
I
forever.
love Volk.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one thing about Volk. So I watched him fight Max Holloway in Vegas. What was that last? Hey, when I say I've never seen nobody like that locked in, like the way he was locked in on that fight, like Max Holloway didn't even, you know Max Holloway is an animal.
Oh yeah,
like Max
he
Holloway
just killed Korean Zombie.
Yeah, he didn't even. I don't think Max Holloway laid a punch on him. Yeah, man, it was crazy. It was crazy, but yeah, Volk is a different animal. But I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't think Oliveira gonna get him, man. Honestly, Oliveira just can't go into it, like going to his back and all that kind of stuff. He got to really be able to stand up, and if you do take him down, he gotta initiate the takedown and actually get on top. He can't just fall down on his back and let old boy, you know, get on top of him and all that kind of stuff.
Those Dagestanians, man, can't trust them. They'll get you.
Yeah, they strong. I know they strong out there.
All right, if Volk, let's make a deal right now. If Volk beats Islam, we both have to do a shoey in honor of Australia.
A shoey?
Yep, like tied to a Vasa. Pour a beer in that shoe. We're both chucked. Deal? Is that a deal right now?
Yeah, that's a deal. That's a deal.
All right, we're air shaking on that one. I'm holding you to this, Kenny. Done. I'm about to buy new shoes for this because my feet, I can't trust.
Yeah, I'm not pouring it in none of my shoes.
Jimmy's muted from here on out, Kenny. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm to avoid you having to stick around and listen to Jimmy ask you a half hour worth of MMA questions again. We really do appreciate you taking the time, Kenny. As always, it's such an honor to have you come around and talk to us, and it's always insightful, man. And I do have one last question. What is the Mexican order tonight? Is it tacos, burritos, chimichanga? What is it?
Yeah, I had a steak burrito.
Nice.
I'm kind of light, so you know I had to get something a little heavy. We got weigh-ins tomorrow.
Like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Extra queso.
Yeah, that's for tomorrow night's Mexican order. Yeah, Kenny Clark, Green Bay Packers defensive lineman. Thank you so much, Kenny. Have a great rest of the season. Hopefully, we'll catch up soon.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, Kenny.
Thanks, Kenny.
All right, you guys should have known one question was going to spiral. Like that was
this is why from now on, Jimmy, you don't get an MMA question. You just ruined it. You just ruined it for yourself. You only have yourself to blame for this. Don't make excuses.
The first line in the chat, in the private chat, can I ask a MMA question? Not a six.
And you know what?
Couple.
You know what? You pushed
I forgot that word.
You pushed it with Wes as well when you said one question. Okay, it's a two-parter. And it was just two
but they're not
questions.
Connected.
Yeah. No. Let's put him back on timeout. It's enough of that. I do apologize for
in my defense.
I put you on mute. Can you stop?
He was answering.
Problem solved. So
that is the only reason we even let it go, was because Kenny seemed to actually enjoy talking about it with you.
Yeah, I've talked to him before about MMA. That's why I knew he wouldn't mind.
Cool. Do it on your own time.
I got it, buddy. But we're pushing up against the time.
I heard you're looking for a new best friend, anyways. So
I don't want to talk about it right now. I heard.
Again, I was apologizing for my phone ringing. Grandma Joan thought this was a call-in show we were doing tonight.
No,
So that
do
was
not blame Grandma Joan for this.
that's who called me.
Send me a screenshot right now, and I'm done. I will
Okay.
not bring it up again. I need a screenshot. It was Grandma Joan, and I forgive everything.
Done.
On that note,
TikTok. On that note, how about we jump into a little buy around pay the tab, gentlemen? We are officially done with preseason football. 53-man roster is up and out. Still obviously changing as we speak. Hopefully by the end of the week.
Oh, which way? This way.
We can't see.
Say Grandma Joan?
You changed the name.
Yeah.
That's what took so long.
Yeah.
No, I was cropping it out so you couldn't see the rest of my call log. Jimmy, you don't need to know how often your mom calls me.
How many times
Tammy
Melissa
gets
from
bored
Quick Trip?
at work sometimes.
There's like 18 missed calls from Melissa from Quick Trip.
Todd, I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. Are you okay?
Yeah, she's concerned.
we made extra sandwiches and pizzas for you guys. And we're back ordered.
We have so many leftover glazers. All right, Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and kick us off? Buy round.
Yeah, I'm going with the undrafted free agents with Malik Heath, Emmanuel Wilson, number 57. Not going to give Todd a chance on that one. Number 57. Brenton Jr.
Dan, do you know who he's talking about?
Yeah, I think it's that big old Cox.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, this is what I was avoiding. So yeah,
I'm surprised, Jimmy. You love talking about Cox.
Usually, the undrafted free agents. We've had, I think someone put it out since 2005. We've always kept one, but this year having 3 of them who look to be, I guess, with Malik Heath, even LaFleur mentioned his blocking is going to get him into that rotation. And then we have Emmanuel Wilson. We'll see him sporadically, not that much, which is fine, but just that story of D2, like Wes said, betting on himself, leaving a year early than he needed to, got brought on by the Packers late and just made such a big impact in the preseason. They kept him there. He showed even he could do some pass pro, so that was a benefit. And then number 57, leading the team in pressures the last week of the preseason. And I don't know how the Packers – well, I know how the Packers do it, an incredible scouting staff to bring in these undrafted free agents, but continuing the streak. And it's impressive to see these guys year after year bring people in who can impact the team. So we'll see how those 3 do, but it's always fun when an undrafted free agent makes a team.
Yeah. And look, I'll be real. I'm just going to say Cox has been the standout player of the preseason for me, I think.
More than Heath?
Yeah, I think because I think you have to take into account everything that kind of came with 57 to Green Bay.
Yeah.
Of
backstory of everything.
The backstory, and that's not a guy that the Green Bay Packers usually take a flyer on. They're all about the locker room culture and this and that, and that just
generally there is some baggage that comes with a Cox, right? Like it's just how it works. But you guys are wrong. He's been impactful. He's been making tons of penetration.
At what week do we stop this? At what point do you think I've made enough Brenton Cox Jr. jokes?
Never.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's like we'll stick with 57 from now on.
I'm 13 years old up here, dude. This is never going to get old.
From now on, it's just number 57.
This is the podcast version of opening up your health textbook to the human sexuality portion.
Todd stole one from his classroom. He still has it in his house to laugh at sometimes.
I just want to say,
or to die.
I'm a sucker for Cox. Okay, I just.
What's the next one? Who's buying around next? Let's get there.
A cocksucker, if you will.
Fuck, he said it. God damn it.
I really hoped you avoid it. I knew it was coming eventually. I knew it.
I'm so proud of myself right now. Hey, I'll buy a round. Brian Gutekunst putting together a hell of a team. Dan,
time out. The worst part is now we have to separate the Kenny Clark interview from the rest of the show.
Yeah,
Because then you knew
fucking
people are
hell.
going to watch, and then he gets Todd. I'm a cocksucker. What can I say?
anybody that sticks around after your 18 hours of MMA quizzing, sure, they'll love to hear that. So
I'm going to give you credit on that one. Touche.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's move along. I'm going to go buy a round for Goody. I'm with you, Dan. I'm really excited to see this team. Part of me wonders if it's because I don't have crazy high expectations of them. But I also, at the same time, think that they could have a really good year. So it's exciting. There's a lot of young guys, I think, that I'm excited to see them actually get out and play real football and see how they can perform. So I'm going with Goody. We've said it a number of times, but the fringes of this roster are so much better. I don't even think a Ladarius Gunter type is on the practice squad of this team. Like, they're that much better than what they used to be on the edge.
Is Royce Newman the offensive line version of Ladarius Gunter?
Yeah, probably. And I still think he's better than Ladarius Gunter.
And you're not asking Royce Newman to block Aaron Donald every game. Like, you're not asking Ladarius Gunter to guard Julio Jones in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, that I don't even want to talk about that right now. But yes, yeah.
Said I wasn't going to fall off the wagon this week, Dan.
Well, if you drink, you know what that means for me. So let's get this going.
I'm going to buy a round for a guy that Kenny mentioned, one of his running mates on the defensive line there, and TJ Slayton, breaking out the 93 jersey and living up to its aura by breaking out the Gravedigger on Saturday. And I gotta say, if this becomes a reincarnate of, doesn't it just feel like a different version of, like how, like, in basketball everyone wanted to repeat the big three, like in Boston and Miami. Doesn't this kind of feel like the recreation of that defensive line of Kenny Clark, or Reggie White is Kenny Clark, TJ Slayton, Gilbert Brown, and then I'm going to say Wyatt, Santana Dotson.
I think we should not do that right now.
Oh, no love for Sean Jones. Okay.
No love for who?
Sean Jones?
No.
I don't think we can do that right now. Kenny Clark, incredible.
But doesn't it just kind of
the other guys
feel like it?
Nah, the other guys are not, like, TJ Slayton's getting his first crack at, like, starting consistently. Same with Devontae Wyatt. Like, we cannot put them to any Packer. First of all, NFL greats with Reggie White, and then Packer staples with the other guys. Like, we can't do that right now. We can't. Deepest offensive line, or defensive line, excuse me, since Kenny Clark's been on the Packers, in my opinion, but that's way too early to put that on there. Way too early.
I'm just saying, man, Slayton looks like a completely different player this year. And breaking out the Gravedigger to tribute the number 93, man, just throw the fucking visor on him and get him some of those oversized or undersized shoulder pads, and that's Gilbert fucking Brown out there, man.
He could be a complete monster, but, like, we have to see a season of them playing consistently before we start putting any Packer legends on there. Like, just pump it a little bit on that one. He could be a killer. Okay,
Katie's with me.
Who do you think
Sluts rise up
right now? So we know Kenny's Kenny. Kenny's gonna fucking kill it. Pro Bowler, All Pro possibility. Like, Kenny's a shoo-in on that one. TJ Slayton, Devontae Wyatt. Who has a bigger season this year?
between those two?
Between those two,
Slayton, baby, give me Slayton all day.
Todd?
I think he's gonna be a wrecking ball.
Okay.
I think he's going to be more consistent. I think Devontae is going to have more splash plays. But I think that comes with the position and what they're being asked to do.
Sure.
TJ is going to be asked to hold down the middle and really set the line of scrimmage, where Devontae is going to be asked more just get in the backfield and wreak havoc.
Yeah. I think that's the thing, especially with like Kenny Clark being on a DN more consistently now. We might want to start the 18-word his foundation thing we did last season. Kenny Clark sackathon for blah 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 blah.
Children who can't read good, yeah,
exactly. But yeah, no, I agree. Like Slayton could be incredible, but Devontae is going to have the more he's going to have the finesse plays. Slayton's going to eat up double teams, which is his role as a nose tackle. We've seen Kenny do that year on year. And that's why his stats aren't always that great, but he's so fucking impactful because he's eating double teams all the time as a nose tackle that truthfully is undersized for that position.
It's also going to be interesting to see what the rotation looks like. I think those three are going to see the bulk of the snaps, but I don't think we're going to see a lot of 3 down lineman sets from this defense. I mean, it's a base 3-4, but it's a base nickel. They're never in 3-4.
Yeah.
And I expect there to be more times where there's 4 linebackers out there than 3 down linemen. So it'll be interesting to see, how they rotate them through, if Wyatt kind of bounces between both positions, or if they, have him and Kenny kind of jumping around. I don't know what that'll look like, but I'm interested to see.
Dude, week 1, I really think this defensive line, 1, Bears suck in general. 2nd, their offensive line is terrible, and now Jenkins is out. Like, this defensive line could just destroy week 1 and just set the tone for the rest of the year. And I cannot wait for that. It's sacking Justin Fields is an effort after that, but I think this offensive line for the Bears is going to look absolutely foolish in 2 weeks. And I got the tissues ready. I'm ready to go.
But we were worried that I was the one that spoiled where we have to cut off
I'm just following your lead on this one.
Okay.
I would like to point out that I'm the only one who hasn't made a dick
time out.
or self-pleasure reference.
I will replay the Instagram post that Todd cut of you guys the week that I missed talking about Brendan Cox for like 5 minutes.
No, I mean today.
Okay, well.
Today.
See, but your intro, Dan, hot garbage, so I guess we're all even at this
That's
point.
worse than anything we've said.
Fair enough.
Well, let's see. The home opener is 3, but then they got the season opener is it. And let me get my calendar out, and we can see where you're. Buy a round, Dan.
Fair. That's fair. I just bought a round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me drive the show.
Would you?
Todd, buy a round.
I did. I
Or
started.
pay the tab. Pay the tab, you son of a bitch.
So you can email your resumes to lombardisbar@gmail.com. Pay the tab. I'm going to go Matt LaFleur. I think we all kind of gave him a little bit of a pass the last couple of years. Obviously, there was a ton of success there early on. And then it kind of fell off last year. And I think a lot of us attribute that to Rodgers falling off and just the friction that's been there. So I'm really excited to see. I don't want to open this chat right now. I'm really excited to see what he does this year. And I think he needs to take a big step forward as a head coach and show really what he's made of and how he can manage this team of young potential superstars or flops.
Yeah. Oh, there's no more excuses.
Yeah.
How many
years do they give him leadway without Rodgers? I say at least 2. Like this year, unless we have a catastrophic year, I think it's 2 years.
It would have to be like Urban Meyer bad for him to get fired after this season. I would see getting at least this year and next year.
Yeah.
I think he gets at least 3 years if, like you said, as long as one of those first 2 years is not just absolute hot garbage. Because I think 3 years just feels like the right amount of time. First year, you might still be trying to get your feet under you. Okay. Second year, okay, this is when we should start seeing stuff. If we're not seeing improvements yet, maybe a third year, and third year is where we draw the line.
Yeah, I'll be
I think
drawing
he's
that
sort of
line
earned
hard
it.
and fast partway through next season,
Okay.
unless we get blown out by the Bears week 1, and then I will start drawing that line immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might, depending on how that game goes, I might go Joe Barry first. I'm always on that train, but yeah, it could definitely go that way.
Okay.
How much do you think, like, if Joe Barry sucks this year, as he had in the past at times, over 50% of the time, how much?
I don't know. I thought he was great last year. I thought the defense was phenomenal and they did everything great.
Again, at times, Joe Barry is absolutely terrible. At times, he is a decent D coordinator. At what point does it become such a bad look for Matt LaFleur of being too loyal to Joe Barry that they're just like, look, we're doing a clean slate. Offensive, defensive coordinator, head coach, we're done. Like, is it after this year? Like, let's say Joe Barry has a rough season, knock on wood, and Matt LaFleur tries to keep him. Do you think that's just like, hey, both of you guys are done then at that point?
I think it would really have to depend on what that season looks like for the defense. Because if it's another defensive season like this past year, I don't think it's as big of a concern. But if there is a serious step back with this defense, the talent that's on this defense, there should not be really any regression with this defense. And so anything more than like last year was the bar. Last year was the bar. You need to be up.
Let me hold you up. This is on me for going this route and opening this can of worms.
Mm-hmm. You did do this.
Can we not talk about how long we're going to wait to start talking about firing coaches? Can we just like move on from that conversation?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that's cool. Excellent. Let's be excited for the season.
I'm super jazzed.
Yeah. Let's do that. Dan, drive the show.
My bad.
Jimmy, why don't you pay the tab?
I'm going with the NFL schedule.
No, I didn't ask you for a pay the tab. I said you pay the tab.
I'll pay the tab. Paid. And now my response.
Okay.
The other person, NFL schedule. I understand this 2-week break, but motherfuck, I hate this so much. We have 3 weeks of preseason football, and then to go, hey, you're going to have to wait 2 weeks until week 1. Like, this is the longest 2 weeks.
It's 1 week break.
I mean, it's 2 weeks from the last football game.
It's 2 weeks from the last football game, but it's not a 2-week break. There's only 1 week of the season in between the last game and the.
We're not trusting you to do calendar math. There's 2 weeks between games, and it's 2 weeks.
You just said 2 weeks, and you said, but there's 1 week.
There's 2 calendar weeks, but there's 1 week.
No.
There's 1 weekend. There's 1 weekend.
Okay, so 2 weeks.
1 weekend.
So 2 weeks between Saturday.
Well, then by that logic, it's like almost 3 weeks.
This is worse than listening to him.
Yeah, thank you so much. Kick him out of here. Kick him out of here.
Him talk about it.
My MMA was not that fucking bad. Bring up his mugshot.
My head hurts.
So we have 2 weeks.
Fulton County Dan.
So we have 2 weeks in between the last preseason game and week 1, and that is ridiculous. We need 1 week because you get us pumped up for football. I understand why you do it. You have cut downs. The GMs are focusing on this. They don't know the roster until just yesterday, but fuck, these 2 weeks are just so long. And I wish we had a way. I wish we had a way to have it shorter than that. But we are 8 days away. Dan, do the math. 8 days away from Chiefs Lions, which I can't wait for. So there we are. That's
it's actually
NFL schedule.
It's 1 weekend.
It's actually only 1 day away from that game 8 times.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's tomorrow, but 8 tomorrows.
Yeah. When you say it that way, it makes sense.
Yeah, it is basically
tomorrow.
almost here at this point.
It's one weekend.
Thank you, Andy.
One
This is-
weekend. One
I've-
NFL calendar week.
I've never been closer to
away.
logging off the show than I am right now.
I wanted to punch you so bad, Dan.
Okay, if that's fair.
Okay. I'm into it.
I'm not into it. I just resigned to it.
Almost enough to pay his bail.
I would like to have pay the tab. Jack's on Brady Street.
Don't you ever talk bad about that bar
in
ever.
Milwaukee. I am not talking bad about this bar because they are literally paying the tab.
Yeah.
Which I absolutely love this story, and I've never been to Jack's on Brady Street, but I want to make a point to go to Milwaukee and give them all of my money because if you didn't see, they are running a special during every New York Jets game. If you show up, open a drink tab 15 minutes before kickoff of every Jets game that Aaron Rodgers starts, and sit through the whole game at the bar. If the Jets lose that game, they will literally pay your tab. Free drinks the entire time.
Can I add to this? As someone who has
Please.
frequently gone to Jack's on Brady, this is a terrible idea. That is consistently the busiest bar on Brady Street. And let's say, is it like, do they have a fine print? Rodgers is playing?
No, so
he has to start.
The biggest thing about this is it also cannot it does not cover food, and it cannot coincide with a Packer game. So there's actually only 4 games this year in which this will stand up.
Okay, that makes sense because I was going to say if this is a season-long thing, anytime they play, you guys we drink in Milwaukee, so like that is a ridiculous tab if they end up losing. But that makes sense. 4 games, hopefully they lose or win them for Jack's sake. Hopefully they lose them for our pick's sake. But that's a risky bet.
Yeah. I mean,
Anyway,
for 4 weeks, because
it.
you're going to get a ton of people that come in there anyways. And assume that that's the case.
The thing is, though, like Jack's is like they have food and it's okay, but like
food doesn't count on that.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. Is like people. That's what I'm saying. Is like people aren't going to go there for the food. People are going there for the drinks.
The question from Don, because which 4 games is it? Because if this is something where the Packer game is at, say, like 4:00 in the afternoon Eastern time, 3:00 you guys.
Bills week 1 counts. They're primetime night, aren't they?
Oh, okay. We'll see. Okay, here you go. If they play Sunday night, are they playing Sunday night football or the Monday night?
Sunday.
So you have Packers Bears leading into this game. So everyone that's sticking around for the Packer game is already going to be shit faced, and now you're giving them the opportunity to stick around and get shit faced, like even more shit faced for free, while potentially watching Aaron Rodgers lose his first game as a New York Jet.
Let's say it's third quarter and they're down. Let's say they're down 14 points. You know they're rallying up that tab. Shots. Like,
oh yeah,
this is a terrible idea. Those 4 weeks can cost them thousands of dollars.
Matt summed it up perfectly. Shit faced year. Yes, shit faced year.
It's not. I've been at that bar. I frequent it when I'm in Milwaukee. It's not a.
Describe the atmosphere. Is it full on?
It's
like
2 levels,
Roadhouse?
Giant screens on both levels. They have a smoking area. Like it's a bad idea.
Up?
It's a bad idea. That's the most popular bar on Brady
area.
It's not good.
Yeah, I would guess there's something with the tabs open within 15 minutes of the game. Like if you have a tab that's been running all day, they're probably going to make you close it and then reopen a tab 15 minutes before the game.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm not.
Otherwise, let it roll. I mean,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking more about if I go to that bar for Packers Bears, a 3:30 kick, and I'm pounding beers up until Sunday Night Football. Packers finish up a 42-10 rout of the Bears, and now I'm like, close this bitch out. Let's get it started for Sunday Night Football. That is a dangerous game.
And then it turns into I want doubles of Grey Goose and soda. Like that's it. Like at that point, if I know they might pay for it, I'm risking it. I'm saying your most expensive liquor, your soda. Let's roll.
That's shots for the bar, baby.
Oh yeah, buy a round. What if someone says that like, hey, I'm buying a round, third quarter, fourth quarter, they're down 14 points. Buy a round for everybody. It's a bad idea.
Okay, hold on. I think did Matt put this into the chat?
Yep.
Here's the silent 30 seconds.
Top shelf liquor is not included in the deal.
All right, there it is. That makes more sense. All right, well, they thought around my logic.
Blowjob shots for everybody.
Which so excited to watch Jimmy go there and watch the Jets during a Packer game drinking Grey Goose, forgetting all of the rules that we've discussed, and then getting a tab at the end of it and being like,
I gotta tell you guys,
I wish I could say that was not a possibility, but for sure it is.
I really want to go to this bar next Sunday and do this. Do like the Barbenheimer experience of Packers game, Jets game right after.
If you go to Milwaukee, I'll drive down there.
Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna have to.
I'll go. It's not that far. It's only,
if both of you are there,
3.5 hours.
I probably won't be.
Yeah. God damn. Okay.
Dan, if you just go, I'll make Chucky go for my work. You go. Okay. We all hang out at Jack's.
Okay.
Don't okay me like that. I was very subtly peer pressuring you. It wasn't aggressive.
Very subtly. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's wrap this up. Make sure if you have not done so already, go over, subscribe to the Game On Wisconsin YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Game On Wisconsin YouTube channel so you get I'm trying to wrap this up.
Keep talking.
So you get notified every time that we go live here on the channel. Make sure you're following us over on Twitter at GameOnWI and Lombardi's Bar. You can follow all three of us at our socials right down here. You can follow producer Matt on Twitter at Matt Trombone.
3 T's in there.
3 T's. There are 3 T's. That threw me for a loop one time. For producer Matt, for Jimmy, for Todd, Dan, your bartender, saying thank you again to Mr. Kenny Clark for stopping by, as always. Next week, we are talking about a real-life guaranteed Packer game happening. Until then, everybody, cheers. Go Pack Go.